Hello SRP, how are you? It's been a while, hasn't it, since we got together? About 3 months, I think. Everybody we're pleased I'm back. And in fact it's been so long that I think you probably need this now.
Need a white stick to and a little dog.
And if you're like me, you need the red tape around that as well.
Okay, yeah, I'll utilise that, thank you.
Right, so you've had your eyes tested since I last saw you. You didn't have it done at my optician's though. And I think it's time now for us to start looking to get you some new glasses, if you want them, that is.
Yeah.
I've got a small selection of frames today, not a big collection like I normally have, but at least with these I know I've got the sort of frames that you've always liked in the past. I've also got frames that I know you wouldn't like.
Okay, yeah.
But if we can have a look at them, we'll look at the frames first, and then I'm going to ask you some lifestyle questions, and then we can see what sort of spectacles would be good for you. Alright, because your lifestyle could well have changed since we last met up. Alright, so looking at the frames, this is one that's made, you don't get them very often in this material anymore. This is a nylon frame. It tends to be a little bit chunky, but it's virtually indestructible. In fact, if I pop them lenses out, I could tie that in a knot.
Right.
Unfortunately, I haven't got a mirror with me.
It's okay. I'll take your opinions on them.
That actually looks pretty good.
From a distance, yeah?
Yeah. Do you know what though? Ask the audience and they can give us answers.
Right. See what they think then.
Now I'll try.
Flexibility, isn't it?
Yes. I'll try this one next. Now if we try that one. See, that one's a sherry colour, and actually that really does suit your skin tones. And these bigger frames are coming into style. They're coming into fashion.
They've been in style for a while now, haven't they?
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
Just feel a little bit skewish, but they can be.
The frame may well be slightly off balance, and you'll notice that straight away by how it feels.
Yeah.
And then I've also got a similar one in a crystal colour. And these crystal coloured frames are really coming, well they're doing very well in the opticians, yeah.
I'm not sure with my skin tone if the transparent is...
It certainly doesn't look as good as the last two.
No, I think.
And that's a bigger frame as well. And I think that's a little bit too big.
We don't want to go too big, do we?
So now I'm going to show you this one, because this is a much lighter colour than the first one. It's similar to this. So I'll put that back over here out the way because it's a no. But again, we'll still see what the audience think. They'll soon tell you which frames look better on you.
Well, you've got good coverage, haven't you, for reading?
Yes. And also if you wanted it as a sunglass.
No, I wouldn't go for this as a sunglass, I don't think. Maybe for reading, if it's not too... But we'd have some smaller ones there, don't we?
Yeah, let's get you one of them to try. There's no doubting that these are not brand new frames. The fact they're still packaged.
Much shallower, aren't they?
Yes, they sit a lot lower, so excellent for reading, but you wouldn't want them for your driving glasses.
No, I think something smaller for reading, like this.
Yeah.
I don't... the bigger for general use. interesting design there, isn't there?
Yeah, it's called half-eye frame.
Yeah, the bridge is raised, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's see what you think of that shape. See, now the problem with that is it looks a little bit feminine. I don't think I've really got much more to choose from.
Well, let's say this range I like.
Excellent. So if I ask you some lifestyle questions, and then we can work out what's the best option for you out
So
of
just
those.
looking at this sheet you've got, and it talks about some of the activities. So I've actually started rock climbing.
Right. And I always thought you were scared of heights.
Well, I've tried to conquer my fear recently.
So what else do you do? Do you still play a little bit of golf?
No, I've given golf up now.
Right.
So,
And do you go swimming?
yes, I do go swimming.
So one option that you could look at is swimming goggles with your prescription. So we can talk about that afterwards. You may not want to bother, because I know your prescription, although you've got a prescription there, it's not the highest prescription. So you wouldn't be too worried about swimming with glasses on or goggles on.
Yeah, the vision isn't too bad, and the vision's not that bad that I can't see walls and things.
Yeah. So the fact you've given up golf, knowing you was coming in, and brought this in. This is a reading ad, and that's just one sample. It might not be your reading ad anyway, but the point about that is that you can have single vision for playing golf, and you'd clip that on, and when you're playing your strokes, you pull that up out the way. When you want to read the scorecard, you flip that down and you can read the scorecard. So that you've got unrestricted vision for the golf course, but you've got the advantage of being able to read the scorecard after.
As I say, I'm not playing much golf now.
No. That's why I said it's a pity, because I'd brought that in because you did play golf. Here's something. This is actually a ready reader. Now I know this is a bit strong for you, but it folds out and the sides fold. So this is really good for carrying around. It does have its own case, but that's really good for a reading pen. It goes in a +1 all the way up to a +4.
Let me just compare it to the half-eyes then, because these are a bit slightly larger.
Yeah,
I think I prefer these, but that is novel.
it's a neat idea, isn't it?
A friend of mine is very technical and likes the intricacies of design.
So even down to you've got the spring here, which is a feature that most people wouldn't know about. You've got your pads are movable, so you can adjust it for the bridge size, and of course you've got the folding sides. So as it folds up, you fold the sides in and then pull it upwards, and you can see the spring contracting. That is really neat. And then it goes in a little squarish leather case. Okay, so you started doing rock climbing. What other hobbies and interests have you got?
Swimming, rock climbing.
Do you do a lot of driving now?
Yeah,
so you like driving.
Well,
What do you
don't like it.
Right.
I have to do it. I don't like it that
Yeah.
much. Not like I used to.
The next question to ask is, are you still an optometrist, and you still work in a practice?
Yeah.
So knowing the fact that you've got to work a lot of time with changing depth of light, you have to work in the dark room as well as a light room. You have bright coloured charts to look at. It's a good job I know a bit about opticians, isn't it? So we need to consider the lighting that you're using, and the fact that it's not a constant light.
No.
For every patient you go in, you've got to have at least 5 minutes in the dark. So an anti-reflection coated lens is a really good option for that. The reason for that is because that takes away all of the glare off the lens. 99% of the glare off the lens it reduces, and so therefore giving you a brighter and clearer vision. But then with the lights keep going on and off, it doesn't glare for you.
We also say that they look cosmetically better for the patient.
Yes, somebody wearing a lens with the anti-reflection coating, you can see their eyes. If they've got no coating on there, you can't see their eyes, you're just looking at the reflections. Excellent for driving as well, because it reduces glare from car headlights, and it does do a big difference when looking through. In fact, I've got the anti-reflection coating, so you could do, if you just compare that with that lens, and you'll be able to see the difference just looking at the lens. Now, with your rock climbing, is it the indoor version, or do you go out?
Indoor.
So, do you go out and do some real rock
I'm
climbing?
due to go out more, but I do go to Rock Up in Birmingham a lot.
Right.
So that's mostly indoors.
Yeah. But when you do go out, you've got the problem of glare because you're looking up to see where to go. I would recommend a polarised sunglass for that activity.
If there's ever a point you don't want glare, it's when you're rock climbing, isn't it?
Exactly, yes. You've got to be able to see them handholds.
Of course.
In the old days, it used to be the option was a brown or a grey lens for polarised, but in fact I think this one has now got many colours on there.
Well, this is what I was looking at. This is what we recommend as well. To those who play sports. And where are we, Rock? There. You've got much more range, haven't you?
Yes.
Are we recommending the mirrored lenses as well, the mirrored polarised?
You could have, in fact, there is a company that boasts they've got the best sunglasses in the world, and that's called Marigine. And I know that you've been familiar with them in the past, but they are mirrored, or rather you can get them in mirrored, and you get them up. Every lens they do is polarised, and they're advertising that they do the best sunglasses in the world, so it shows that it can be done. Now I've folded it to
graduated or not? They're not graduated.
Not this range. You will find there are some graduated, but they won't be polarised. So when you look on here, that's non-polarised, but when you look further down, polarised lens is there.
It's just the way that the image has been displayed, it looks like.
I think that's the way the light is hitting the lens.
I think a lighter colour with rock climbing.
But if you look here, grey gradient polarised for that, for example. So it will be darker at the top and slightly lighter at the bottom.
Slightly. Okay.
But you know there's also another lens called a drive-wear lens. That's a polarised sunglass, a polarised lens, and it goes dark in the sunlight. It goes dark whilst you're in the car. It is a transition as well.
The extractive?
It's not an extractive, it's permanently tinted, and in fact when it's not reacted it's olive green, and it lets about 38% of light through. When it starts to go dark in the car, it goes to a grey brown, and it goes to 25% light transmission. But then if you wear it to go outside, it goes to a chocolatey brown, and it goes to 10% light transmission. So it's a very, very effective sunglass, polarised, but a transition as well.
Okay.
It's still limited use because you can't wear it between dusk and dawn due to the fact that the depth of tint
is too strong.
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so am I selecting one of these then for...
Well, yes, you could do, and it's nice to have different colours So you look at what colours are available. I will say that if you have a grey lens, that's the darkest effect, and that might actually be
I
detrimental.
don't want a dark one for rock climbing.
No.
I want something light.
But the green tends to be the lightest colour. But have a look still at the other tints. There might be some more polarised, but I do recommend that it is a polarised lens you have. And I'm just going to have a look at my Nikon range. In fact, mountain and rock climbing, it actually has a range.
Well, that's what I was looking at.
They are mirrored, and you've got all these colours.
But I had my eye on those. I like the blue and the green. I think green would be a nice idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pick my pen up. Something else about them, for the sunglasses for rock climbing, the frame needs to sit fairly high, because most of the time you're using the sunglass, you're looking up. But with the eye coverage, remember when you go up you've still got to get down, so you'd be abseiling.
It doesn't mean snooker glasses, does it, when I'm climbing?
No. And straight away you see that's got a good height.
That's why Dennis Taylor used to have high ones.
Yeah.
He's looking more at the top of the lens, isn't he?
Yeah. It's amazing how many people still come into an optician's and ask for them. Of course, you can't get the same ones anymore. Yeah. But you can get them now where they're a little bit more scientific, and they've got them where the sides actually fold down to raise the frame when you need it to. And then it goes back up to normal when you're wearing it as a normal pair. They don't look as hideous then as Dennis Taylor's did, but they did the job for him, didn't they? That was what was important. So we're looking at the Nikon green mirror for rock climbing. But they will still be good for driving as well. They'll be effective, so you don't need a separate pair for driving, unless you feel you want a pair that's specifically for the rock climbing.
No, we'll use them for rock climbing and driving then.
Yeah.
It's going to help with other polarised, aren't they? So
yeah, so it's going to definitely help.
In terms of the tint on these then, the green, is that suitable for driving in the daytime, but not at night time?
Yes, you can't wear anything that takes away more than 20% of the light. As soon as it takes even 21% of light away, they're according to the highway code, they're against regulations, and you can get done if you get stopped. So we're looking at a non-sunglass range pair for driving, so that you can drive in the evenings. With your prescription, you don't have to wear your glasses for driving, but looking at the way it is, it's a good idea to wear them for long distances. You'll feel a lot more refreshed when you get to the other end, because without your glasses on, to read a road sign, you'll be looking at it for a lot longer than you need to. When you've got the glasses on, you'll be looking at it and seeing it instantly and reading it instantly.
You don't want to be messing around trying to...
No,
You don't spend too long trying to work out what something is and become distracted, do you?
Exactly that. If your vision was a little bit worse, so the legislation for driving is 612, so that means somebody with 20/20 vision, what they can see 12 metres away, you need to bring it to 6 to see it the same as them, and that would be beyond the legislation for driving. Especially if you're feeling a bit under the weather.
Well, we had a chat and I said I'm going to wear them for driving any because the astigmatism is the issue.
Yeah.
Even just L75, you know. And as you say, it takes a bit longer, doesn't it? You're spending more time.
Exactly. And if you want to read a number plate, it's instant if you've got the glasses on.
Okay. Good.
All right. So we've got them sorted. So MAR for driving. We've got Nikon green mirror for rock climbing.
And these for readers?
Yes, those for reading. I know it's only a small reading ad, but again, especially at work, you're working in the dark, and sometimes you need that little bit of extra help to read whilst it's dark.
Well, they'll be on and off, aren't they, most of it?
Yeah. All right. So we've got all them. Now I've got most of your measurements already, and you did mention about some of them being bigger. These are off the display, they're not necessarily how they come. Can you see how that frame is bowed? It's coming like that. When you get it, it would be coming like that, which will be a better fit.
Waved?
Yeah, because that's because of the bridge, the way the bridge is.
So it's not meant to be that way? It's meant to be
it's meant to be that way.
Going forward, yeah.
So you can see even the sides are sticking out half a mile. So when it's actually sitting correctly, you'll see the sides will go straight. So for me to do that, I'd have to warm it up. But we don't use the frames off display anyway.
It's just a demo frame.
Yeah.
Right.
But I ought to have it so it sits correctly, because some people wouldn't have that because of feeling so big.
Yeah.
See, that one's perfect shape. You can see how the frame bows that way and it's tucking in. When you look, the sides come out perfectly straight, and it's the same with that one. So your nylon frame is almost indestructible. Be very aware though.
Well, that'd be better for rock climbing, wouldn't it? Do you think?
It might well be actually.
In case they fall off.
It's also good eye coverage, so it's good for the.
You said we needed good height, didn't you, on the coverage for looking up.
So you can see that it's level with your eyebrows.
Yeah, you can see where your hand's going. It's not. This isn't restrictive.
Exactly, yeah. And if you knock it, it'll take a bit of battering. Well, that's not the lens I'm talking about, it's the frame.
I've noticed.
You've got a lot of flexibility.
I'm not going to tighten it, but take the lens out and tighten it about that.
Do you want me to do that?
No, thank you.
Right, so is there anything else you'd want to ask me about?
That's what I've been recommended, and that's what we're going to go for.
All right. Yeah. So nylon for that. The driving glasses will be the major. They've all got names, you see, and then the other one that's called the nylon.
That's the major, nylon,
and that one's called the executive.
Sherry colour.
Ironically, that's sherry as well, but they are different colours, aren't they?
Well, yeah, it's a bit lighter.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's covered everything.
Right.
Thank you very much for coming to see me.
Thank you.
All right.